In this video, we will be discussing modifying, canceling, and approving sales orders. So, since that the entity we're talking about is actually a transaction, in order to modify or cancel or inquire a sales order, we have to be in the transaction sections of Aria. So I'm actually double clicking on transactions. Then I need to do some work on the sales orders. Then double clicking on sales order, and everything in regards to editing or doing changes or inquiring or canceling also happens on the same screen that we actually used when we were entering the sales orders. So I'm gonna be selecting a few sales order with different statuses over here and show you how do they actually look on the screen after they are entered, and what's the way of modifying them or canceling them. Like for example, this is a standard sales order. You will notice, of course, once you type in the style or the order number, which you can actually do by opening the link or clicking on this button to get the list of all order numbers on the system, or you can actually type a customer number over here or select it from the list. Click that button, which will give you a list for all orders related to this customer also. But you will notice that once you type in the order number or select it, the information is displayed on the screen, which is everything that we entered at the time when we're doing the data entry. If I click on the details, here is my style numbers that we chose. Here is my selling prices, colors, and size breakdown. And if I click on the summary, I will be able to tell that this order is booked with 72 pieces and it's still open. Nothing is shipped so far. This is a factored order. The order is still on hold, and so on. So if I would like to do any kind of changes on my sales order, the only thing I would need to do is to use my mouse and click on this button, which is the edit button. The system will allow you to change all the information, starting from the dates to the shipping address choices. In case if you want to change anything on the style numbers themselves, what you need to do is just I click on details. Then I will highlight the line I would like to edit, and then do all the editing down here, like change the prices, change the breakdown, or even remove a line or insert a new line using the mouse on the right hand side, or change the notes that we have on each line, and so on. Once you do all of your changes, of course, you don't forget to save. So the way to edit a sales order is to actually actually doing it through the same screen that you used in order to enter the sales order. Simply type in the order number or select it, click on that edit button on top, do all of your changes on the related tab, then save. And this is the way for you to edit the sales order. Now, let's say that I would like to inquire a sales order. Like one of my customers is calling me over the phone. He's asking about a specific sales order number. So what I would do, if I'm on the screen, the fastest way of doing it, I'm selecting my customer number. Here I type it, or I just simply click on this list, and then I'm going to click on this button. This will tell me that I only have 2 orders for this customer, and you can notice that you can see the purchase order number over here. So you'd ask your customer, which one are we talking about? So he says, okay, we're talking about order number 319, or my purchase order number 123 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, as you saw. And now we have the order. I just highlighted the order. I press enter, and the information is displayed on the screen. I notice that this is a multi-store order. Say that the customer is calling me and saying, when are you going to ship my stores? So I'm just going to click on the details, or for a quick view, I click on the summary, and I notice over here that the booked quantity is 1566, and we already shipped 171. And this is a multi-store order. So which stores did we ship, and which style numbers did we ship? Here is all details of that sales order. So I notice here is the style and the color, and here is the store number. And you will notice that you have lines down there. For some order, it might be just directly easily to just simply look in the quantity shipped over here, and I will notice that, okay, we shipped store number 2, and you will notice that they are shipped on picking ticket number 13. Okay. But this is kind of a complicated view. It shows me everything, all stores, whether they are shipped or not. So here is what we did. If you click on options on top, then you go into show transactions. Now the default view here is to show the user what's open to be shipped on that sales order. Still, the user will have the ability to click and see originally booked for each line. So what I'm doing over here, I'm just simply highlighting the line. So over here it tells me this is a line that's shipped already. As you can see, 60 pieces shipped. Down here it tells me that they actually booked 60, so we actually shipped that line complete. If I see this one, I see nothing is shipped, and originally the customer booked 36 pieces, and so on. So what happens is that when you choose one of the options over here, the system will actually break the screen into two parts. The upper part will show you the original line, and the lower part will show you whatever you asked for, shipped. So for example, I selected shipped right now. So here those lines, or I'm sorry, this is what's open. So actually this is the quantity that's displayed here is actually the open quantity. But here it tells you that this line is shipped on invoice number 512, shipped on that date. It was shipped to store number 1. Full quantity was 36, and nothing is open. So I apologize for this. Actually, what we show over here is actually the open quantity. Same thing. If I click on options and go to order transactions, and I would like to see if there is any cancellation, you can do that. If any of the lines is linked to a purchase order or a cutting ticket, you'll be able to select that, and the system will show you the corresponding cutting tickets in the lower list, and so on. Okay. Now, also there are some other functions over here that gives you some quick tricks. Like for example, I'm highlighting right now style number TSC001. If I click on style inquiry, the system is going to open the style screen for you, where you can actually select the style and color, where you can actually do and see some other functions, like see what's in progress, how much do I have in inventory, a picture of the style if we have it over here. I also can select to see the information sorted by style versus sorted by, so this is sorted by style and color. Tour. This option. Okay. So go back to open, and this is the original view. So this is how you can see the actual transactions that happened in that sales order by using that options menu. Of course, I'm going to switch to another order number which is still on hold, nothing is shipped, but you will notice that you can also see the picking ticket number over here. So the original view will always show you what's open to be shipped on that sales order. So if the sales order was originally booked with 100 pieces, say that you shipped 25 pieces for store number 1, what you should be able to see over here lines with a total of 75 pieces. So this is what you should be able to see, and if you go to options, you will have the ability to switch and see, okay, I want to see what's shipped. So nothing's shipped for this one yet, nothing's shipped also for this one yet. So this is why the lower list is empty. Now we're going to talk about another function on the system related to cancellation. Cancellations also happen on the same screen. So we have one entity that you use for entering sales orders for single stores, entering sales orders for multi-ship to stores. You also use it for inquiring the sales orders. You also use it for modifying sales orders. And now we're going to talk about using it for cancellations. There's two types of cancellation. Either partial cancellations, meaning that you have a sales order, you open it, you remove one of the lines, for example, you remove one of the style colors, or you remove a few pieces on one of the style colors. So this is partial cancellations. Or you have an order that you want to completely cancel. So the canceling the entire order is the easiest one, is an easiest trick. What you need to do is just simply come to the screen, select your order number, and hit this garbage can. Cancel orders. There are some limitations. In order for us to cancel a sales order, we have to make sure that there is no picking ticket at the warehouse to avoid shipping it by mistake. So in this situation, for example, the system is telling me, nope, I cannot cancel. The order is being picked. Make sure that you take the pick ticket out of the warehouse first to avoid that, to make sure that nobody's packing it before you cancel. And the only way for me to actually cancel that sales order is to go remove the picking ticket itself, which we will discuss in the next training session, how to remove that picking ticket, then come back and click on that garbage can again. So I'm going to skip this order. Let's see, do we have a ticket here? Yes, we do. Alright, this is one of the sales orders that's not picked. So I'm going to click on this button. Are you sure you want to cancel all orders on this item? Yes. Now, any cancellation on the system must have a reason. And those reasons are actually added on the system manager codes. They are different, they can differ from one business to another. So the system is actually asking you right now, why are we canceling this? So I'm going to say we're canceling it because we're shipping. Customer is refusing to receive the order. So I'm going to click on OK. System is going to cancel the sales order. You will notice that on the sales order, the status is changed into cancelled. And if you look at the summary part, you will see that it was cancelled on this day because we've passed the shipping date. And you'll also be able to see that the originally booked piece is this much, and this is what was cancelled. Now, if there is nothing shipped on the sales order, you have the ability to bring the order back again by just simply clicking on the garbage can again for the second time. And this only happens, and you will have that ability, if nothing was shipped on that sales order before. The only way to bring it back is to click on that uncancel button, and it brings the order back again. Status open back again into work. So you can go ahead and ship that order later. Now, so this happens if you're only dealing with an order, right, that was never shipped before. I want to also show you another order here, which is another way of cancellations. Alright, this is a partially shipped sales order. So as you can see, we have 171 pieces shipped on this sales order. If for any reason I decided to cancel the entire remaining balance, what I would need to do, or before I do this, let's cancel part of the sales order. I'm going to go to the details section, and let's say that, okay, store number 1 gave me a call, and store number 2 gave me a call and said that we don't want this tile number, or for some reason we want to change it. So I'm just going to click on the edit button, find the line I would like to edit, say it's this one, and if I actually change this into 20 pieces, that's considered a cancellation. That's a cancellation of 5, right? Or I can just simply click on the remove button. Again, same thing. We have to make sure that this thing is not big. Like this one, you're gonna have to click on the remove button. Are you sure you want to? Yes. Done. Then I save my changes, and now this is part of the cancellation. Now, in the system setup, there is a flag that tells me when to display that message to ask for cancellation reason or not. That flag mainly depends on the number of days. If the order is entered, like in this system setup, for example, if the order is entered within the past 7 days, allow me to do any kind of changes without considering them as a cancellation on the system that we're using for training. And it depends on your system setup in order for the system to display for you that message that would ask you for the cancellation reason or not. So right now, when I remove that line, since that this order was entered within the past 7 days, the system did not consider that line I removed as a cancellation. But it cancelled, meaning it removed that line. And you will notice that the open now is a little bit less than what we saw before. Another thing also in relation to partially shipped sales orders, you can still cancel the entire balance, that 1270 pieces, by hitting that garbage can. And if I do this cancellation, it's going to ask me for the it's going to ask me to remove that picking ticket first. So let's see if we can quickly do pick ticket number 13. I'm just going to minimize this and quickly go to the cancellation to remove the picking ticket. So I'm going to transaction sales order allocation. This is a subject actually we're going to be discussing in the next training session, next training video. And the order we will deal with. Okay. So now nothing is picked, as you can see. And in order for me to cancel the entire sales order, the only thing you do is just click on that garbage can. Are you sure you want to cancel all? Yes, I am. Here it will ask you, because this is partially shipped also. Let's see that we passed the completion date too. And we're done. If I look at my order again, and this is the difference between this case and the case before it, the status is turned into complete versus cancelled as we had with the first order. So the rule is, if there is a partial shipping on the sales order, the system is gonna automatically consider that order as complete, and it's gonna move the pieces into cancelled pieces, the remaining balance, and close the sales order. So if nothing was shipped, the status is going to turn into cancel. If part of the sales order was shipped, the status is going to turn into complete. In this section of the video, we're going to be discussing sales order approval process. Before we start, I want to let you know that the order approval process is actually an optional process that you might need to go through in case if you would like to maintain an internal sales order approval process. Some of the customers, and especially if they usually go through factors and things of that sort, they would like to go through an approval process to make sure that nothing is shipped to a customer before the credit has been checked. So by default, if your system is set to go through a sales order approval, then this means that when you save a sales order, it automatically it takes status hold, and you are not going to be able to ship this sales order unless it is turned to open. And what turns the status of the sales order to open is actually the sales order approval process, or the credit approval process. In order to approve a sales order or to change the status, it's actually a very simple process. what you need to do, you're going to go to transactions, sales orders, then we have the sales order um, order approval. Here it is. Now, it's a very simple screen and it's a high security screen. We should make sure that the people who have access to this screen are actually, the credit department or the people that are responsible for maintaining this information. But as you can see, when you open the screen, you have the list of customers over here. What you need to do, or the simplest case, you highlight the customer that you need to change the orders for. And once you highlight this customer, you click on the orders tab. This will display for you all hold and open sales orders for this customer, and it will tell you here's the order number, the status, and the name of the factory, and so on. So if this order is approved, what you need to do is just click on the order status, should to open, and in here you can enter the factory approval number, or if you have an internal approval process, and so on. So for example, factory approval number so and so, and you also have the ability to change the approved amount. So for example, if I change this to $700 only, that means that the factory is approving only up to $700 worth of merchandise, and at the time of picking and also at the time of shipping, the system will always confirm that the total value shipped on the invoice is less than $700. Otherwise the system is gonna refuse to save or to ship the merchandise. Also, approval can go both ways, right? So I mean, you might decide to put the order back on hold if anything happens. So if that also needs to happen, same exact steps. I'm just highlighting my customer, clicking on the orders, choosing the order I would like to put on hold, back on hold again. I'm changing it and I'm putting it on hold. And at this time, the system will consider that this is kind of a credit decline issue, and it will ask you for a reason of why are we declining this customer credit. And you will have the ability to run, of course, reports, for decline reasons, like factor decline, for example, can be a reason. Bad history, things of that sort, and you'll be able to print reports to show you how much money did you lose because of credit issues. So this is it. Actually, the only steps that you need to do is just highlight your customer, click on this tab, switch the status either to open and hold, put your approval number and your approval amount, and there is not even actually a need for a save button over here.